Alright guys, so we're going to look at a few other sort of injury prevention principles, and one of them is capacity of key muscles that are utilised in the run gait cycle. So the reason why we want to look at capacity of those muscles is one, to ensure that they aren't fatiguing too quickly, and two, to make sure that we've got similar capacity on left and right. So as an example for today, we're going to look at the calf raise. So if we were lacking capacity around the calf, then something like the foot may have to take up some of that slack. Equally, we also might then not be able to utilise our Achilles tendons as much in terms of using that free energy that we get every time the foot impacts on the ground and absorbs those forces and then pushes them back into the ground to propel us forwards. So we're going to look at, like I said, is the single leg calf raise test. So it's super simple. All you need is a slightly raised step or surface. So you can see here I'm using a weight plate. You can use a step on your stairs up to the landing, etc. A box, anything like that. Just something that's allowing your heel to be raised off the floor and also allow it to go just below the foot without touching the ground. From there, we want to make sure we're going to do this test barefoot, all right, so without shoes or trainers. All right, you can wear socks, that's fine, but ideally, like I said, you don't want to be wearing footwear for this exercise. All you're going to do is set up your box or your object in front of a wall, just so you've got something that you can put your fingertips on just to keep you balanced and supported, so that you can really focus on utilising the calf during this exercise. If you're doing it freestanding, you'll start doing things like compensating with hip hiking to make it easier. Equally, if you're using something that's down by the side, you're more likely to push into that object and use the upper body to support you in this test, which then gives you a skewed score. So having a wall means that we can just utilise fingertip grip and therefore taking the upper body out of the equation. And then it's super simple from there. All we're going to do is step onto our step so that the balls of the feet are fully supported and the heel is hanging off the end, as you can see here. All we're going to do then is step onto it. Once the foot is supported, like I said, fingertip grip on the wall, so you're not leaning into it excessively, it's just there to provide a bit of balance. Take the other leg off and just bend it so it's just behind you, and then all you're going to do is allow the heel just to lower slightly below the foot and then push through and drive onto the balls of the feet with a little pause at the top. We're looking for a nice controlled tempo of 1 second up and 1 second down. Coming up as high as we can, pushing through the object with the ball of the feet. Super simple like that. Now, we're going to carry on doing this movement until either we can't keep up with the tempo, i.e. the 1 second up and 1 second down. So if you have to pause for a period at the bottom, the test is over. If we start to lose form, i.e. we're not able to lift the heel as high as possible, or we start trying to lift the other hip to assist in the movement, again, the test ends there. Or if you get more than 30. So if you get 30 reps, you can end the test, like I said, or like form breaks down, or you can't keep up with the tempo. Or obviously you just fail, i.e. you can't physically lift yourself anymore. So you keep going until one of those points happens, and then you record your score, obviously, on the right leg, and then do it again on the left leg. So we're looking for, ideally, as I just said there, more than 30 on each leg. Okay, there may be a slight discrepancy between sides, but ideally they should be within 4 reps of each other. So if I got 30 reps on my right leg, then I should get no less than 26 on my left leg. Ideally though, obviously both want to be above 30 as well, so obviously again within the 4, but ideally both above 30. If you're lower than 15, then there's a lot more work to be done on the calves, okay, to build a little bit more capacity in the muscles. And one of the easiest ways to do that to begin with is by doing calf raises. So we can start off doing sub-maximal. So if your max was 15 per side, then you can do sets of 5 to 8 per side, 3-4 rounds with a brief pause in between to build up that capacity over time. Then obviously you can start going higher in the reps until you can do the test again in sort of 4 to 6 weeks time and start hitting those higher numbers with the goal of, like I said, hitting more than 30 per side. If you're in between, then obviously, yes, it's not bad, it's not great, you're in between, but you should still be striving to hit that number above 30, especially as we get older, all right, because obviously things like the muscles and joints do suffer a bit of degeneration as you get older. all right, one of the first things that happens is an injury risk increases around the calf and the foot. So calf capacity, especially in older athletes, is even more important. So have a go at that test, record your scores. Any questions, as always, just give me a shout, okay? If you're unsure if you're doing it correctly, please feel free to film it and send me the video. And then from there, we're going to look at the hamstrings. So the next test I'll send to you guys will be a hamstring capacity test, okay? Because again, if they're not doing their job, remember their main hip extensor of pushing the leg behind us, all right, and then being able to cycle it back through into the next contact phase. If they haven't got the capacity either, then the hamstrings are going to start to take over, especially when it comes to the toe off, and that can lead to things like calf strain, shin splints, and all that sort of stuff as well. So both of these need to have good elements of capacity, and we'll look at that test next time. For now, just give the calf raise test a bash.